If I told you to double your sales in the next week, could you do it without having to do any more work? This is why most businesses stay stuck. For the last 3 years, I've been working with creators, small business owners, break through this ceiling, because even if you're not consciously doing the math, your brain is doing the math. Sometimes I get people say, Yana, I'm just not good at the math, but there is a part of your brain that is working 24/7 doing the maths for you. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you the exact numbers and why math is the reason that most businesses don't scale, as well as how you can avoid this. This math, once I showed it to my client, was what allowed her to hit 30K in the relationship niche, and what I show my fitness clients that allow them to literally 5x their leads within 24 hours of implementing a system. Let's say you want to grow your business, you want to make more sales, right? You want to take on more clients and you want to increase your revenue. However, if you're currently already in your DMs 2-3 hours per day, and the rest of that time you're either servicing clients, you might be writing up programs, you might be onboarding clients, you might be doing calls, and your schedule is already pretty packed, right? Your calendar is going to look a little bit like this. And why most businesses hit the wall, even though they really want to scale, is your brain is going, no can do. We are at capacity. Look at our calendar. How are you going to fit more clients in there? But we are a little bit delulu and go, well, we'll just figure itself out. Even if things don't work out logically, but we must understand how we're going to get there math-wise. The math has to match. If your relationship to scale is directly linear, meaning more income equals more work, most of the times we'll be like, I'm happy with my 5 to 10K months if that means working 15-20 hours a week, right? I'm gonna pull up my whiteboard. Okay. So let's say that you know roughly it takes you about 3 to 4 hours a day in the DMs. You might close 4 to 5 sales, and then you're probably spending 15 to 20 hours servicing clients. That's already 35 hours. So how are we going to make this math? So your brain is like, I've got a partner, I've got dogs that I want to hang out with. I'm the same. I've got 2 Frenchies, and like when I'm not working, I'm with them or with my husband, or I want to go to the beach, or I want to take spontaneous adventures. And so let's say you're at 10K months. Your brain will literally not let you scale past this point, because let's say, okay, this is the way our brain works. I'm not saying that you think this way, but your brain is going, well, in order for me to hit 20K months, I pretty much need to double this. So now that's going to become 60 hours per week. What we want to do is we want to break down this linear way of thinking when it comes to scaling, and we want to think about where can we add in leverage. What I think about in terms of leverage, do you ever play like Mario Kart, or you ever play those video games, you get a power up and then all of a sudden you go super fast even though you're playing the same character? So I'm thinking about it in the same way, where I'm either thinking, so this depends on the client and what the bottleneck is, but if I'm spending 2 to 3 hours in the DMs, I'm going, how can I get more sales from the time I'm ready putting in? So one, that's already getting more output for the same amount of input. Or ideally, I want to make it so that I'm spending less time and increasing the output. And so there are usually a few things that need to go into it. We need to get way more efficient with our marketing. When you're spending heaps of time in the DMs, beyond, let's say, 1 hour a day, it's usually a sign of really poor marketing, or just inefficient marketing, meaning you're not hitting and consistently hitting the sales and the buy triggers that your clients need. So every single buyer, we all have a mini mental checklist, whether it's conscious or unconscious. We all have a checklist of things that something needs to tick in order for us to say, yes, I want to do this. And you have to understand what that checklist is for your clients in order for you to be able to do this effectively. And I know we all love ChatGPT, but this is something that ChatGPT will not be able to tell you this. It gets a high level overview, but it doesn't give you the nitty gritty. We wouldn't be able to ask ChatGPT to tell us why someone made a decision. So actually go and ask clients, ask the people who didn't close, or ask the people who, were past clients, and say it on whatever it is that you need to do to get the data on what makes people tick. And the third thing is figuring out how to make it so that we're spending less time servicing clients. And you'll be surprised, a lot of this actually comes down to just really simple systems. If you're manually doing check-ins, if you're manually writing programs, manually setting up calls, calendars, there's so many things that we can do to get back time here. Because once you've got the clients, if you need to be more efficient, you will be more efficient. So getting better at your marketing, more effective at your marketing, And then also, how are we increasing our conversion rate from the amount of time that we're spending into our DMs? And this is a little bit of offer design. So making sure that we've got offers that directly meet our clients where they're at. How can we actually get more yeses out of the people who are already in our audience? Once you can actually see it for yourself and you map this out for yourself, your brain will be like, click, okay, that makes sense. Sometimes this, just understanding this will be what you need for you to give yourself permission to make more sales. A lot of the times we know exactly what we need to do, but it's like giving ourselves a permission to do that thing is what unlocks exponential growth. And I've seen this across clients. It's that little permission slip where they feel safe. They're like, ah, oh, yes, I trust myself to be able to handle this many hours in the DMs. I trust myself to be able to handle this many clients. Once you actually do that, all the rest comes super easily. I've seen clients do this. They won't even necessarily change too much, but within 24 hours, like I said, they'll have 5x their leads. Once you sort of open the floodgates, it's like, where did all these clients come from? This is the power of understanding the math and understanding exactly where you are capping yourself in your business, because instead of working on all the things, we actually just look at what's the most immediate bottleneck that if we remove that bottleneck is going to have the most ROI, and we work on that thing. And then usually that solves a whole lot of other problems. If you have any questions about this process, or you want me to walk you through how this could look for your business and where you could be pulling more of these levers in order to get more scale, drop a comment down below and I'll pop into your DMs. I'll ask a few questions, kind of see where you're at, help me understand the landscape, the scope of your business, and we'll be able to identify exactly where you can be leveraging and getting back more time or getting more ROI from the time that you're putting in. But otherwise, I will catch you on the next video. Bye guys.